Maybe you found me through my YouTube channel, website, audiobook on Amazon, or my podcast, but it seems most of you found me on YouTube, and odds are because of one video, my 5-spin method with its 329,000 views and reaching 3.5 million slots enthusiasts. Well, I'm here to tell you that my 5-spin method is just the tip of the iceberg on slot strategies. Because of its popularity, most viewers aren't aware that it's only the first of 9 of my 9 winning slot strategies. Today, I'll briefly introduce you to my other slot strategies, and later in the show, I'll open the floor with my usual question and answer segment. But first, hello, slots enthusiast. I'm John Friedel, and this is my Professor Slots live stream. And we have donations. Thank you, Chuck, for your donation. Hello, everyone. I've missed you. $20 donation, the 28th time, if you can believe it. That's wonderful. I've been doing these for a while, but just not basically in June or last weekend, the 4th of July weekend. Thank you so much for the donation, Chuck. So let's get into this, and I'll take a break in a moment, but I always want to acknowledge donations. Thank you again, Chuck. Okay. Hello, slots enthusiasts. I'm John Friedel, and this is my Professor Slots live stream, which is also going to be a podcast episode. They couldn't see the note from Chuck on the screen like you. Oh, oh my goodness. Thank you, Magpie11. They say, karma donation. I've done very well with the 5-pull method in California and Nevada. Have to leave early today, going to the Big 3 tourney. Okay. I'm glad that you're doing so great at this. Wonderful. As you know, it's casino by casino, and it doesn't work at every casino. We'll get into that a little bit. But thank you so much for the donation. Much appreciated. And I know you have to leave early, so I will catch you later. This is not to interrupt myself again. Right. So this is a live stream, but it's also a podcast episode. So yes, I have a podcast website and more, which we'll talk about. Today, we'll be going over my winning slot strategies, but only briefly. We have an hour together, and so I'll have to be very brief. If you want more than today's brief introduction, I get a little gun shy by the screen on my side showing things happening in the live chat. Right. So if you want to get more than today's brief introduction, I recommend signing up for my online course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win. It's packed with all the information you need on your journey to becoming a successful slots enthusiast. For example, several days we'll go into several of these lessons, several of these days of these 30 days. We'll go into a lot more detail than I will today on all my winning slot strategies. Unfortunately, today's show may only whet your appetite. But then again, this show is mostly to inform you, today's episode is mostly to inform you of how much is going on that you might not otherwise realize. Thanks to those of you thanks for those of you who have already signed up for my 30 days course. It's still a beta version, discounted over 50% from its regular price for the upcoming non-beta version arriving soon. When will the price double, you ask? That'll happen later this month, so don't delay. Along with it will come its first non-beta version. So the updated version based on feedback I've gotten from participants and other things I wanted to add, there will be the price to its permanent price. So, okay, along with this course, you'll get lifetime access to all future versions. So if you want to purchase it now at half the cost, you will get the non-beta version without any additional cost. And there are also some other valuable bonuses. The link for signing up for the course is in the description of this video and also in the podcast description. For those of you watching, here's the sign up page. Let me show you that. Here's the sign up page. You can go to courses at courses.professorslats.com to see all my courses. Right now, I just have the one. More coming later on other topics, little mini courses. But this one is the 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win beta version, which, as I mentioned, currently sells for $97. Will go to its permanent long-term price, never increases, as far as I can tell. Never want to increase it beyond $197, which is the price that it'll become by the end of this month. And I'll try to give you a better notification exactly what day that'll be. But yeah, it's coming. I've already done all the scripts for the updated version, and I'm going to pick a day to record everything and then editing. And so yeah, it's done by the end of this month, if not the middle of this month, another week or so. So I don't have a final date for you, but it'll be in days. So if you go to this page, which I'll try to show here, right? courses.professorslats.com/courses/30-days. You'll see this is where I would sign in. I'm a member as well, just to make sure I understand how things look from your side. And this is the course curriculum. So you've got these 7 sections. There's a bunch of bonuses. The slot strategies that I'll talk about today is only this one section. You have to have all the rest of this material beforehand to understand how to listen to and how to make use of the slot strategies. So one of the things I'm working on is a new lead magnet, which, if you're not into the whole having a website stuff, I've written another book. I've written a 30-page ebook, which I will make available for free probably in about a week or so. Lots going on, very busy June. And that talks about how there's more to slots than just strategies. There's more to slots than tips and tricks, because slot strategies change. The gaming industry changes. There's, you might have noticed last year how a couple of months all the casinos closed, and definitely the casinos have kind of built up a need to make money, but then also the slot manufacturers have built up products to offer, but they couldn't offer them because the casinos are short on money. But we're coming out of that. So I expect double, triple the usual amount of change that we get every year in slots. And it wasn't slow beforehand, and now it's going to be a little wild. So that's coming. Be ready. So these are the things I want to teach you to help you be a successful slots enthusiast. Not just to do what I say, but know how and make updates for your local casino as they start to do more. And that's what the course is for. So you can use PayPal or credit card, debit card, and you get some bonuses here. But let's move on with the show. I wanted to just make sure you were aware the price was going up, and I didn't want you to miss out on that. Okay. I think I'm caught up on stuff. Right. So the link will be in the description, and so here we go. Let's get into the main topic for today. And I'll check in with a live chat in a little while. There's a lot to get through today. And I'll come back to Emmett and now Rudy and new Emil and Hetty. This is cat talk, but we'll hold off on that just a little bit. Winning strategy number 1, only win immediately. This is the 5-spin method that you probably know. That's probably how you found me in the first place. So here that is. Play slot machines for up to 5 spins. If you win anything at all, 1 penny. If you win anything at all, immediately stop playing and move on to the next slot machine, unless you get a hand pay, in which case, you have to decide how you're going to handle that. I've moved on, then had to come back for the hand pay when they came back to. Anyway, move on after 5 bets. This strategy is or if you win anything, this strategy is essentially about collecting those tastes from machine after machine. Now, some wins are less than $1. Some wins are over the hand pay amount, where automatic taxes are pulled out, whatever your state requires at your casino. So the basic idea here is if you win any play slot machines for up to 5 spins. If you win anything at all, immediately stop playing and move on to the next machine. This strategy is about collecting tastes. If you can test if your casino gives out tastes, because this is all my strategies are based on what casinos do for themselves, and let's call it a counter strategy. And so I built these to watching what casinos do and then do this in return to win, to take advantage of them. Test if your casino gives out tastes by heading out to the main casino floor. Find 20 slot machines with the smallest minimum bets you can find. I go on about this. This is one of the things that kind of went unnoticed by a lot of people is the minimum bet is increasing. There's a few places in New Zealand that still has 1 penny bets on penny machines, but the rest of us have to deal with like 68, 88 cent bets. Nickel machines I found were 45 cents. They started at 9 credits. So we have to watch out for these things, but find 20 slot machines with the smallest minimum bets you can find. It might be a nickel machine, or if you can find a 1 credit quarter machine, and then after that, maybe penny machines with, just barely under $1 bets. Find 20 slot machines with the smallest minimum bets you can find. Then there's a test procedure. Put your chosen bankroll into a machine, make 5 minimum bets, but stop if you win anything at all. Right? That's the 5 spin method. Any non-zero win means you move to the next machine. Staying would mean you've abandoned the 5 spin method for something else. And we've seen that. I've seen that from people explaining that they kind of lose control once they win. But stick with the strategy because that's what got you that win until you decide to abandon it. But once you've tested 20 machines, we can evaluate our test results. Divide how many machines gave you a taste by how many machines you tested. Anything less than 50% of them is a failed test. But was it half of them or 50%? That's good. Was it 15 out of 20 or 75% of them? That's great. Was it just about all of them? That's excellent. Okay, moving on to the next. We got a limited amount of time here. Winning strategy number 2. And remember, I have articles. And just to quickly show you the articles on my website, professorslots.com, this is what it looks like at the top on a desktop. It's a little bit different for a phone, a mobile device. This row right here is kind of reduced into the hamburger, the 3 lines symbol. But if you go under articles, I have a category called strategies. And if you click that, you'll find my articles. So it's starting with the most recent. It goes up to strategy 7. Before that was 6, 5, 4. We'll talk about each of those. But the most recent one is my article on slot machines are a thinking person's game. This is actually 8 and 9. I need to make individual videos, individual articles on those two strategies, because for the longest time I had 7, but then I realized that was implying 2 more. And so those are 8 and 9, and you'll find them in that video. So these are what I'm talking about briefly. And if you can go look at them there. If you're only on YouTube, you can find them there. If you only on podcasts, you can find it in my early episodes. And so there, or you can buy my book and read it there, take the course. I've tried to make sure that, to spread the word. And unfortunately, I haven't been able to get to everybody where they are. For instance, I have an article on what to do during your Las Vegas visit, which I hear about people on YouTube after they come back. Oh, well, this explains everything. I wish I'd found you beforehand. I'm like, I wish you found me too beforehand, before you took the trip. Right. So winning strategy number 2. Progressive slot machines. There are effectively 2 approaches to winning at progressive slot machines. One is to treat it like a progressive slot machine and try to win, treat it like a non-progressive slot machine and try to win the smaller non-progressive jackpots. And the other is to deliberately try to win its progressive jackpot. Now, this strategy is primarily for traditional progressive slot machines. This is the one with a common sign above it that might say progressive and the amount. The thing is, all these penny machines that we've been getting in the last few years, 5 years less, they are all progressive slot machines. They have, right, minis, grands, there's a bunch of different titles for it, but they have these small wins and these medium wins, major, minor, I think was all that it was first. And now there's like groups of 4, but this is the second strategy I'm talking about here is how to win the big one, the top progressive on those progressive machines. And not to get derailed here, we've got a bunch more strategies to go through. This is, you can try to win the lower amounts. I'm debating whether I should tell you something because you haven't been prepared properly, but I'm just going to say it. Lots of people love to get these spins on slot machines, and they love to get the minor and the mini and all of those wins. Those were determined when you made the bet. It doesn't have to do anything with gameplay. This is what's called Class 3 slot machines, which is the Vegas style. This is not tribal casinos, although they can have Class 3, but tribal casinos can have this bingo card, bingo style competitive Class 2 slot machines, and this isn't about that. So these are the distinctions you need to start to make. And we're not even talking about historic horse racing, HHR machines, which are mostly in Kentucky, a few other places, but they look to be spreading everywhere soon. That's what those manufacturers want to do. And so we have to understand the different type of slot machines. And one last thing, is a video poker a slot machine? Yes, it is. Not in Nevada because of the gaming regs, which say no. But most other states don't have the same gaming regulations. So they're essentially slot machines, and all these strategies work on them. But I digress. If taking the first approach of winning smaller non-progressive jackpots on progressive machines, the lower amounts would spin and win on the reels. That's just, go ahead and use these winning slot strategies. However, be aware that having and maintaining a networked slot machine includes an administrative cost passed down to players of these machines. It's kind of like the licensing fee for those machines that are based on a television show, Walking Dead or other, even, Dukes of Hazzard from a long time ago. Those have charges that the casino either is going to put to you and lower the odds, or at least at the bare minimum is going to share. So you pay part of that. So and they do that by lowering the odds. So this administrative cost on progressive slot machines is something to be aware of. In general, winning the maximum jackpot on any slot machine is a truly rare event. Yes, I did it once 15 years ago, but unless a specific strategy is being employed, slots enthusiasts should more or less ignore this possibility as nothing other than a once-in-a-lifetime event. I won $1,000 on a 3-credit quarter machine in 2005, and I may never do that again. I've won small, and these are small on high limit machines of $10K or less, $10,000 or less. And, I've won 87 of those in 9 months, but one every 30 hand pays was a medium size, which for me was basically between $10K, $10,000 and $40,000. And I had 3 of those, about every 30 hand pays for lesser amounts. This top jackpot, lightning may strike. So here's how to win the progressive jackpot on a progressive slot machine. Play it as it approaches the maximum progressive jackpot allowed when it must pay out. The not entirely easy aspect of this winning strategy is that doing this takes a lot of patience because you need to figure out what that set maximum limit is, and which means watching others win that progressive jackpot a bunch of times. Not all progressives, another worry is not all progressives are must pay buy machines that have this. Instead, they're progressive jackpots with a maximum, they might have maximum limit and then just stay there and not continue building, and the odds don't improve because they have to pay out. So knowing the difference between these two is something that, which is a change in winning odds of winning them, is something to watch for and understand the difference. If you're going to play progressive slot machines, you are a slot machine specialist specializing in progressive slots. And there's things to do, things to learn, and we'll get more into that later. One of the reasons why strategy 1, the 5-spin method, is so popular is because it's really easy to explain and really easy to do. But progressive slot machines, they not all of them reset to the same low value from which progressive jackpots climb. That variability is worth mentioning because you have to learn to scout for must-pay buy progressive machines. With climbing progressive jackpots, it'll help how much into that climb that machine is. Moving on, winning slot strategy number 3, earning complimentary gifts. I made this a winning strategy because it is a focus. On average, slot enthusiasts lose at slots. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's part of what I do is say, I'm sorry, no top jackpots. And on average, everybody loses. But that's like saying on average, the odds are a little bit worse for poker than it is for slots. I think they're down around 80%. Sometimes you can easily find out this. But that's on average. There's always a winner at poker. And maybe you're good, watching shifting eyes and bluffing. You can be better than the average. And my audience of slots enthusiasts are better than the average. But my audience is still small, and we're having little to no impact at this point on the average. And so we know that slots enthusiasts on average lose at slots. I don't mean you. I mean all the others we need to lose so that the casino can keep its lights on. So why do average slots enthusiasts keep coming back if all they do is lose? Well, earning complimentary gifts is why. That's their strategy. And there are a few strategies that you can learn to earn comps. The simple fact that casinos give away free slots play upon initially signing up for a Players Reward Club card is likely the very first complimentary gift a slots enthusiast will earn. Complimentary gift, comp, in case you didn't know. But there are other types of comps, including much more valuable comps, some quite fantastic. Also, some complimentary gifts are surprisingly less free than others. Whatever a gambler's goal is for visiting a casino, the use of a player's card while gambling results in complimentary gifts or comps from the casino. Suffice to say here that such comps can include dinners, gifts, trips, and much more. But the overall level of comps depends heavily on how much a slot enthusiast plays. Note that I said plays. Comps are based on 2 factors: the tier level of the gambler plus how much that gambler has played or spent recently. A question I often get is, I don't even have to glance at the live chat to know this: do casinos change the odds on a slot machine because I put my card into a machine, me, and they want me to lose? The answer to that question is, which you should already know if you watch my past live stream, is a resounding no. And moving on, winning slot strategy number 4, specific events winning strategies. Now, we just had, hang on for a second. We'll talk about the 4th of July in a moment. That's the next strategy. Great promotional events, whether coordinated to occur during or immediately following large local community or sporting events, are special casino events. A casino's marketing staff uses special events as an integral part of their very own winning strategy. Whatever the cause, casinos invite patrons to special events via email and mail flyer distributions using their Players Club sign-up. Highway billboards and other traditional advertising venues will also spike casino attendance at a promotion. Maybe they show a venue, they've got a comedian or a celebrity, a songwriter, a singer So they use this to bring in people. I found special events to not be a good time to play slots at a casino. I'll say this again, not not a good time. The reason special events are a winning strategy is because of what comes immediately after a special event, particularly in the early morning on the following day between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. if your casino's open. I'll also mention that I won my largest slot machine jackpot to date when testing this strategy, one of those medium sized ones I was telling you about, which was $27,000. This happened at 5:40 a.m. on a Saturday morning after a busy Friday night. Somebody right 5 minutes before that, behind me, somebody else also won in the high limit room, some large amount because they had to be over $10,000 because that was the people who serviced that was the floor manager and a slot attendant, and that's what happens at that casino, at the time Horseshoe Cincinnati, when they have a over $10,000 jackpot. So two in a few minutes, and since then, this. Since then, we've seen this in results, but understand that these are big jackpots. It can be outside of the high limit room, and not to go on about any one of these strategies, but there's a few key things I want to mention. You may not win, but if you do win, it's going to make up for being there at 4 o'clock in the morning several times. How far will $27,000 get you? I mean, heck, it could buy a used car. So it really does depend on whether or not they, and I don't go into this explanation here, but it depends on whether the casino needed to have one of those wins or not, because how well do they do setting up the night before? Again, more explanations, whys and hows and details are available in the article and the course book. So winning strategy number 5, which is very similar to the promotions, only it's much more the morning after promotions, morning after a busy night, is the holidays. So, but there's fewer of them. Now, we just had a 4th of July holiday last Sunday. So what I'm saying here is that, as with special events, the best time I've found for these winning occasions are between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. after a casino has had a large crowd the night before. If I visit my casino after holidays between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., the effect doesn't seem to still exist. Large crowds at a casino likely means they're going to do well in terms of revenue, plus paying out more jackpots than seen on a slow night would hardly negatively impact a tremendous amount of income pouring into the casino on a holiday. It's hard for casinos to be as accurate as they'd like, however. So a simple solution is to hold back a couple of jackpots, which isn't noticeable in a large crowd. After their accounting analysis has caught up, a few hours after the crowds have gone home, the casino gives out a few jackpots to balance their books, as it were. By 7 a.m. the next morning, that's generally done doing that. And that's basically what's behind strategy 5 and also the prior strategy 4. Okay. Something else, something a little bit different. Winning strategy number 6, 3 easy high roller slots tricks. This is basically strategy 1, which is the cheapest approach yet I have to high limit slot machine gambling, or even just any gambling. If you've got a $100 or $200 bankroll, which many people do, this will help you go longer and have the best chance of doing as best as possible in your casino. They may take your money, but you'll stretch it out. The worst of them, right? So once you've tested the 5-spin method and found that it works at your casino, you can try it in the casino's high limit room, but only if your budget can afford it, please. But this strategy includes more than just strategy 1. Strategy 6 talks about some tips and tricks and some sub strategies and a best practice all rolled up in with strategy 1. So this includes playing idle machines and playing idle machines showing a win. Is the chair out? How do you decide it's idle? How do you go about doing all of that? That's what this strategy is. So it's my one strategy, which is as an example of how to combine a lot of the strategies. And that's the combining if you learn one strategy well, then you learn another strategy well, you will naturally start to see how they would connect, how you'd be able to use them together. Some strategies require the opposite of what another strategy might. So you'll be like a miss. I could explain all that, but and I do on occasion, mostly during consultations. I offer paid consultations because, but that's really a high level topic. And at this point, a lot of people just need to really understand each individual strategy, and then combining them comes naturally. Okay, strategy number 7. How are we doing? Okay, I think I'm still good. Checking in on the live chat. Okay, so strategy number 7. And this strategy is the reason why I had this show today on this topic. A lot of you, as I said, have found me because strategy number 1. That surprised me. I guess it's just easy to learn, or number 1 was kind of like drew people in instead of number 7. Lucky 7, I thought maybe it might. I have won more with strategy 7 than I have with anything else. I've won with strategy 1, but I've won more with strategy 7. So I call this win, walk away, and return later. You might know about the whole win and walk away part, but the returning later is what this strategy is about. So this 7th one has been my mainstay. With it, I've earned the most taxable jackpots. As with my other winning strategies, I cannot give you good luck. What I can provide is an edge by explaining those actions casinos get to choose from when setting up their operating system. Here it is. After winning a decent-sized jackpot, go home, then come back 1 week later to play the exact same time, exact same machine about 5 to 10 minutes earlier before the time when you won the first jackpot. For this specific winning slot machine, and for whatever reason, in fact, exists for it to be a winner, maybe the crowd just got out from a game, or this is the casino environment at that moment every week. That time of day, on that day of the week, had a higher than usual odds of winning a jackpot. So play it again at that time of that day, on that day of that week, to see if the reason it was happening in the first instance is still in effect. And like I said, this is my number 1 strategy, but it's apparently I gave it the number 7, and people haven't picked up on it yet. I hope they do. It worked great at one casino that didn't have the 5-pull method in Cincinnati, and at the other casino, I tried for far too long to make it work. Number 7 work at the second casino, but that's when I found out about strategy 1, the 5-spin method. So each casino has its own business practice, and there are counter approaches to take advantage of them. And if strategy 1 doesn't work at your casinos, try strategy 7. Or some of the others. Become a specialist in progressive slot machines. So when you arrive at a casino, so strategy 8. Now, I don't have articles on these. I have the 1 slot machines are a thinking person's game. I talked about on a live stream not too long ago. I've given this one a name, number 8, the casino environment. When you arrive at a casino, stop, listen, walk around, but don't gamble. Not yet. You'll get better at slots, whatever goal you have, as you become more familiar with your casino. Is it busy? Is it not busy? Have you gone enough times to this casino to know the difference yet? Get to know your casino as you play slots. Get really good at it. Use your observations of the casino's environment to know when is the best time to play slots. But have you the observational skills I want you to have to get great at a winning slot strategy? Simple. Everything you see at your casino, besides slots enthusiasts, is controlled. Everything you see and hear is a full-blown marketing strategy by the casino. But once you notice Once your observational skills get exercised and revved up, you can see and hear for yourself what's happening. And once you notice, you can learn to take advantage of it. Now, there's all kinds of comments. I have a video on this. Read through the 700 comments or however many I have at this point. I try to answer everybody while I still can with help, with statements and questions. And one of the things people have is, what is it? Pachanga in California? Just loud, always, 24 hours a day, loud. So then you start looking for, are a lot of hand pays being paid by just looking for people because it's too loud to tell. It was super loud and then it was super, super loud. It's hard to tell the difference, but you can see, whether the slot attendants are kind of like not busy or they're running around paying hand pays. And so this is what you can watch for those changes casinos makes to their odds. Which is the end of the conversation. So last strategy, and we can go on talking about cats. So strategy 9, this one I've called location, 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 which is basically a play on the real estate joke of what's the three most important things about real estate. So where is your slot machine in the casino? The casino floor layout is carefully designed by experts, including the high limit rooms. Not only the high limit rooms, but the entrance to the high limit room. Sometime when you're at your casino the next time, stand 15 feet in front of the opening into your high limit room. What do you see? All right, if you don't play high limits, turn around, look back into the casino floor. What do you see? What stands out? What slot machines stand out as being observable from a distance? So the aisles and larger walkways are exactly how the casino wants them. That's how they've designed them. It's all being presented to you and set up to help the casino make a profit. But I have a counter response. So here's how it works. The casino central computer server physically connects to each slot machine in most casinos, excluding riverboat casinos. There's nothing under the floor except water, which means you can't put a lot of cables underneath there. So, and also they don't have them at small store type casinos, which can't afford a server. Now this excludes Illinois. All these things depending on which state you're at. In Illinois, they do have riverboat casinos, but they also have a lot of machines, and I mean a lot. I'll tell you how many. A lot of machines at cafes and gas stations, and these are businesses which have a gaming license for just a few machines through Illinois State Lottery. So the Illinois State Lottery has a certain number of slot machines, which is 30 times the number of how many riverboat casinos there are in Illinois. So consider the state lottery as having a central server. That's really all it is. Servicing 30 times the number of people, a number of slot machines, than all of the each individual riverboat casino. Right. So all these caveats, but hopefully this is coming through clear. So what casinos are you trying to do? What casinos are trying to do is to let others see you win so that those others get excited and go spend some money playing slots. This is an old technique. I saw this in 2004 where they set up a machine near the bar and I won, 13 hand pays, and I think it was 4 days. 2 of those days had 2 gaming sessions, so 8 visits of about 2 hours each, and I won 13 hand pays on a $1 machine. And it was all very. And then on the 7th day, this is a story in my book. On the 7th day, nothing. And this was all like a $500 bankroll. Then on the 7th day, I brought in $500 as usual, put in the machine. It was gone like 5-7 minutes later. Oh, we have a donation. Thank you so much, CS Firefighter. And let me see if I can. My mouse is funny, acting odd. Okay. There. CS Firefighter gave a donation of $9.99. Thank you so much. It says, "Hey, Professor, great to see you again online. I just came from a gambling trip. I tried to go big and failed. Huff and puff. I put in about 100 spins without a single bonus round. Disappointed." Yep. I have some approaches to that which may help you next time. I'll make a live stream about it sometime. What to do, how to assess a casino. I've talked a lot about how to pick today, a lot how to pick a slot machine, but then when you sit down, you need to assess it. And I've talked about it occasionally, but I'll see if I can't make a live stream about it for you sometime. You and everybody else. Right. So where was I? All right. So to talk about how to find, and that's what I'll talk about now, is how to find these winning slot machines because they've been positioned with their location very carefully. First, stand in front of a slot machine. Just go stand in front of a slot machine. Turn around so your back's to it. And what do you see? If you see a wall of slot machines, a physical wall, if you see something like you're on the second floor and it's overlooking a large casino floor, but they can't see, you're not on a high slot machine, you're on a low one, it can't be seen from a distance, no way, no how, don't play that machine. But if you are, if you walk the casino and you find the major walkways, one of which will be outside of the high limit room. I told you before, 15 feet in front of it, turn around and look away from the high limit room. That's usually a major walkway. But try to follow it till it has an intersection with another major walkway. And just look at the four corners. There, Paula knows this, there's a row of 4 slot machines at Soaring Eagle in Michigan. We went Mother's Day, and there's 4 of them, and it was just a matter of going, they're directed at the center of this traffic, and one of them is a winning machine, and one of them was. Unfortunately, it was the 4th one, but I got like 2 minis on that, just playing whatever the minimum was on that machine. I think it was either it's penny machine, video slots, 88 cents, 68 cents. I don't remember which one, have some numbers. And then across from it on the other side of the intersection was another one, which I didn't try, but I have my suspicions. And, there might be like a row of 4 of them, and it's not going to be all of them, but it's going to obviously be one. Chuck and I did this at Ameristar Casino in Missouri. At Riverboat Casino, where that was just this strategy does not require. I did this in 2004, 10 years and 8 years before central servers. This does not require a central server. This is something that can be set up, and so you just figure out which one of the 4 or so that's being directed. Now, as Chuck and I found, and I went with another person to Louisiana for 3 casinos in June. Which I don't have a report for you. When you look at these machines, you just have to figure out which one. And unfortunately, this is kind of like the downside, is there are really prominently displayed rows of lightning links and central location, viewable from a distance, and you'll never get on them because other people have noticed they're winners, and they might, they're surrounded like a craps table. It's just 3 rows deep. You're never going to get on it. And so you have to sort of get better at this and find machines that are set up this way, but not quite so obvious that everybody already knows, and they get there early and they sit there all day. So this is some of the ins and outs. I'm trying to tell you some tips and tricks, but that's not how to succeed. It's these subtleties. If you want to succeed at slot machine casino gambling, there is lots to learn about the subtleties. I'm happy to give you tips all day long, but that's not teaching you, right? What's the saying? I want to teach you to fish instead of just giving you fish. Well, I'll give you fish, but I'll also show you how to learn so you can fish yourself. how to, some of these tips have an expiration date as things change in the gaming environment. And has anything ever changed as quickly as the gaming environment has this last year? I suppose a lot of things have changed with all this pandemic stuff, but it's amazing and it's an opportunity. All right, so that's the 9 strategies that's my 9 strategies in brief. For fuller explanations, as I've tried to say all along, see each article and video on my website. You can find that here. And if you click on it, you come to the page, click on the image or the title, and I will include the podcast episode for it. And if I have a video on it, I will include a link to the video. Or you can just search through YouTube, or you can search through Amazon for my book and all of those things. All right, so let me remove that and come back to full screen. Okay, so those articles, those YouTube videos, those podcasts are all free. I make all my content free, but the process of step-by-step going through it and learning it, that's what my online course is for. My book is also free, explains a lot of this, but it's from 2015. I've done a few updates, but I've stopped updating it. That was more of so I went here and I did this, and I went here and that's what I learned, and I went here and I did this, and that's what I learned, and what's it like to win a car? Da-da-da-da. And all that happened, to look at people's faces and just credibility, biography, whatever you want to call that. So I've decided to write a new book, and it's a short book, but it explains kind of the journey that we're all trying to make and why tips and tricks don't work. I used to think poker was hard. I used to think that when you went to a casino and you wanted to play poker, that it's gonna be tough. You got a lot of math to learn. You've got a lot of things to memorize. You got to look into people's eyes. Only they wear glasses, so you can't. And you have to look at body language and blah, 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 blah. And craps isn't easy either. There's a lot of back and forth, and you're on the don't, and other people are like, don't be on the don't. It's a curse. Or I hear about all this stuff from people who do it far more than I do, and that's not true. It's easy to play poker. You may not win, and you got to practice. I'm not saying it's not without its challenges, but it's easy. Slots is competitive. Slots is got some stuff going on, and every casino likes to do things a little bit differently. I was at Delta Downs in Louisiana, and I went in, and they didn't. The casino operator didn't know what strategy 9 was. I have to remember which one's 8, which one's 9. Strategy 9, location, location, location. They didn't set up slot machines at intersections. They didn't have intersections. Even strategy 8, the one about the casino environment, they had the whole casino floor, because it's a racetrack, whole casino floor with clear plastic sheets from floor to ceiling, blocking off the sound from the rest of the facility. So you guess you're not going to be drawing people in with sound, huh? They weren't very good at being a casino. So you get all these different extremes. Somebody was telling me about their 8K win, followed by their 1600K win. My Facebook groups are just growing, particularly Professor Slots enthusiasts. I mean, growing like 50%, 60%. They've had 4,000 members the last month. They got 2,200. Now they're up to 6,200. And I think so far this month, and it's day 10, I've gotten 700. So we're looking at, it's just big numbers, and they're all showing their wins. And it's great to see those things. They go to far more casinos than I'll ever be able to manage. I think I've told you before, if I went to 2 casinos a week, it would take me 10 years to get to all of them. And, I'd never be home. 3 days at a casino, right? To truly evaluate it, including travel time. And so, right. I'm so happy to have this connection with all the different states. I have a Facebook group, private, so you don't have to worry about a lot of things on it. But that's not, it is Facebook, and Facebook has a lot of people have concerns about Facebook. So I'm working on a solution that's coming out with a new course, the non-beta version, where people who have taken the course will be able to speak with one another, and instead of to get knowledge where we all understand what we're talking about. Okay, so let's check in with the live stream. Oh, I do want to remind you again, if you want the course, it is at this address, and let me pull that for you and get you that link up. I will again put it in it is currently in the description, but it is also about to be put into the live chat. Now be careful clicking this in the live chat, because you likely get kicked out of the live chat and go to that page, and you'll be like, oh, but I wanted to stay on the live stream. So be careful. And there that is for you. Now, again, we're basically at peak numbers. I mentioned this early in the show, but a few people were here, and now we're at peak numbers. So, in May, I launched my first online course, 30 Days to Play Slots Smarter and Win. And you are looking at the sign-up page. Some concepts, it isn't designed to be difficult, but some concepts may require time to consider before moving on to the next lesson. Until now, we've all been self-taught at playing slots. We've done the best we could without any help, you, me, anybody, without any help getting started playing slots. And this online course fixes that unfortunate, long occurring circumstance. Again, it's currently 50% off for only a little while longer. The link for registering is in the video description, and I just put it in the live chat. So be careful, again, with clicking on that link. The live chat won't be available after the live stream. I turned that off for privacy's sake. So along with some people are free to speak now. But be careful. Anyway, along with the course are valuable bonuses, including getting lifetime access to the course, meaning purchasing it now saves you $100 off while still getting full access to all future updated, non-beta, improved versions of the course. So this is what I'm showing you what the sign-up page looks like. And, so sign up now. I wouldn't want you to miss that 50% discount. Okay, that was excellent. Let's check in with the live chat. And it's always a question how much time I'm going to have for the Q&A. And thank you for your patience for going this length of time. I'm afraid I'm looking away because the live chat is over here. My apologies for not maintaining eye contact. Thank you for the condolences on the loss of Emmett. He passed away in June. I had been worried about Rudy. They're both black and white, and it can be hard to tell apart. But I had been worried about Rudy since April, when he got stung by a wasp. And I think before his cheek swelled up, he ate it. And then there was a pool of blood with a dead wasp in it. And anyway, I was like, okay, then his face swelled up, and I'm like, okay, right cheek. And then after that, I noticed he wasn't eating much. But then Emmett suddenly couldn't walk, and I'm like, we're going to shake it off, or is he not? I don't know. Take him into the doctor, and they're like, he's dying, kidney failure. And I'm like, oh no. And right. So I told you about that, and I canceled the live stream for that weekend. That was on a Thursday. And then 1 week later, I take care of all that. And then I look at Rudy, and I'm like, dang, he's getting really thin. It's not my imagination. I take him in, and they say he only had a few more days to live. He was down to 6 pounds. I mean, you've seen Rudy. He's a big cat. I mean, large boned. So I took him in, and he passed away. I hadn't realized really that he was, 16, 17 years old, which is pretty old for a cat. I am going to see if I can share. So that was all very sad. Then I spent 3 days in Louisiana, 8.5 hour layover in Dallas on the flight back, and wrote 10 pages wrote a third of my book, and just trying to, get back into things. And I've been other business related things. It was a lot of work on that I've been doing, I will say, for doing this. So do I have a picture of, right, where am I looking here? I'm trying to find, I have cats. I now have cats, and I'm trying to find for you where those cat pictures are so that I can share them. There it is. So here is 2 cats I picked up yesterday. And what an adventure that was. So I have, right. Okay. Let me share this with you. Thank you for your patience. Come on. All these clicks. Okay. So if you can see her, this is Ash. That's Ash. Sorry, that was her name at the yesterday. About halfway until this morning, I hadn't given her a name. I like scientists' names for my cats. Some fictional, some interesting. So this is Hedy. Full name Hedy Lamarr. So this is Hedy, and this is another picture of her here. Now I have a boy cat now. Another boy cat. This is Emil Lenz. If for those of you who are electrical engineers, Lenz effect, the induced electromagnetic currents that produce an induced electromagnetic field after applying an applied electromagnetic field. All that sounds terrible, doesn't it? Well, let me just put it this way. It's how computer hard drives exist. So kind of important. So Hedy invented Wi-Fi, and Emil invented how to have a hard drive. And this is another picture of Emil. Okay, so let me stop sharing about cats. I do appreciate the many people who sent condolences on the passing of my cats. Thank you so much. Sorry that happened. Personally, very sorry it happened. And Kiri, who is fine, she's been checked out. She needs to have her teeth cleaned. She was getting lonely. Can you see that? That's Kiri. She was getting lonely, and I guess I was too. And now she's always near me. So I've got her a couple buddies. They're downstairs. One's in the bedroom, the video studio, and the other one's in the bathroom. And they're kind of getting used to not being in the crazy adoption agency building. So that's where that is at. Let's see if there's anything more to add. I haven't gotten to too many questions here. Let me see if I can find any from some. Everyone's saying hello. Well, that's wonderful. Vegas is so hot this week. Hi, Michael, in Denver. Let's see, John, are all the outcomes the same in a bonus round, or example 15 spins at 3 times play or 5 play at 15 times play? Okay, that's a long answer. Forget the whole bonus round. If you change the number of bets by credit, which is really what you're doing when you want to make choice. Okay, just to focus in here. You're talking about some game option when you've already made your bet. It's all been decided back when you made the bet. What's ever coming out is just how the machine is choosing to present you with the amount of money that you won when you push the button and made your bet. It could be 15 rounds, it could be 15 spins, it could be whatever, the bonus round, or it could just be the reels land on something and you get a certain amount of money. That's how much you were going to win. They could have presented to you as bonuses. They could have presented it to you as 15 spins, this many games, whatever it was all determined back when you made the bet. The only person who doesn't know is you, or rather the only person who does know, and it's not a person, is the machine. How it is presented is entertaining, but it is just figuring out the best way to do that. So a lot of people are coming to me saying, I want more spins. And I'm like, you want the money? Because I can show you how to get more money, but how it's presented to you over hit with the reels landing right on that amount of money, or whether it's this many spins, bonus spins. Yeah, I know it's funner to have bonus rounds, but all that was decided, the amount you won was decided at the beginning, and how it was going to be presented is just something else. Okay. Appreciations. Someone's in Washington State. Read ProfessorSlots.com/WA. It's based on the state lottery. It's not based on the same game every other state lottery offers for slots. It's based on scratch tickets. You might say scratch tickets. Well, no, virtual scratch tickets, electronic scratch tickets. Basically, they're created in batches and sent on out online. So how many spins should you try to get the bonus before moving on? I usually try 20. I think that's what you're talking about. What I like to do is try 10. And if I don't get anything at all, I make a hard decision. No more on this machine. Tough call, got to make them. Then if I do win anything at all, then I'll go to 20. And at 20, I'll make another decision. Okay, is this a good machine or not? Because that's the decision you make on whether or not you continue. Is this good enough? I'm fed up with waiting. Was 20 good enough? Do I feel like there's going to be some, if I keep playing, whether, are you saying that's a winning machine? And if so, let's say you didn't win anything after getting past 10, you didn't win anything more for the next 10, move on, right? Move on, unless it's a busy night, but even then, move on, save your losses. But if you do decide at 20 bets that that you're doing okay, it's worth continuing, go to 20, go to 100, go to 100 bets. Did I get another one? I think I did get another one. Go to 100 bets from 20 and then make another decision. Do I stay or do I go? Is this good enough or not? And a lot of people just do that, but I like the 10 bets and the 20 bets to decide whether I should go to 100 bets. And that's my thoughts on that. Okay, CS Firefighter has given another $9.99. 3 minutes over. On my failure on Huff and Puff, I played it mostly based on the bonus potential. I put in a good bankroll and good denom, gave myself at least 100 cents. Did I approach it wrong? Not per se. I was just talking about, try it at 10, try it at 20, and see if you get a hint whether it's a good time to play that slot machine. You may not have known about finding an intersection and, row of machines that's facing a busy area and, kind of do this 10, 20, 100 if you get that far on each one of them. Chuck and I were doing that. I thought it was a great approach, was just play 10. There's 4 in a row. It's headed, just point a ray at an intersection, 10, 10, 10, 10. And then which one of them gave you like 3 bonuses, 2 bonuses? And you're like, well, I'm going to play to 20 bets on that one. And then at that point, for the example that Chuck and I were using in Ameristar Casino in Missouri, was okay. That's gave us 2 bonus rounds, but not 3. We're not going to cut that one off. So there's again, I'll have this topic as another time, possibly even the next live stream in 1 week. I've missed you all. I'm glad to be back. Worked in, took a weekend off and had my sadness thing. And now I'm back, and we will do this regularly. I think I went for like a year and a half one time before a year and 4 months, 3 months one time. And let's see if we can't do that again. I know Christmas Day falls on a Saturday, so maybe that's the next time then we take off. And of course, the week later would be New Year's Day. Okay. Thank you so much to everybody. And I'm sorry I can't get to every question, but I'm already 5 minutes over. Have fun. Be safe. Make good choices. Bye.